Chicago, 1893. Imagine a city of light, laughter, and invention. A world fairground stretching for miles, dazzling visitors with electric lamps, mechanical wonders, and even a giant wheel that carried people high above the city. But just a few blocks from the fair's main gates, there was another attraction. One that didn't appear in the guidebooks. A building that looked ordinary from the outside, but was a labyrinth of secrets inside. They called it the Murder Castle, and its master of ceremonies, a doctor with the manners of a gentleman, the voice of a confidant, and the soul of a butcher. His name was H. Holmes. I like to tell you this is just another ghost story, but ghosts here are all too real. Born Herman Webster Mudgett in 1861, Holmes didn't start life as a monster, at least not outwardly. Childhood stories suggest a boy with a sharp mind and a sharper curiosity. But unlike other children, Holmes didn't outgrow his fascination with death. Legend has it, local bullies once dragged him into a doctor's office and forced him to touch a human skeleton. Instead of recoiling, young Herman was enthralled. That thrill would follow him into adulthood. By his 20s, he had reinvented himself as Dr. H. Holmes, medical school graduate, smooth talker, and more importantly, a man who knew how to make money disappear along with people. In the late 1880s, Holmes arrived in Englewood, Illinois, and purchased a pharmacy from an elderly couple. Within a short time, the couple vanished. Holmes claimed they had retired to California. No one saw them again. He began construction of his hotel across the street. To the casual eye, it was simply a large, oddly designed building. But Holmes controlled every detail of its construction, constantly firing workers to ensure no one fully understood the layout. The interior was a maze. Some rooms had no windows. Some hallways dead-ended into brick walls. Others concealed chutes that dropped straight into the basement. Gas jets hid behind wallpaper. The basement itself contained vats of acid, quicklime pits, and massive furnace large enough to fit a man inside. Holmes didn't build a home, he built a hunting ground. Now let's step inside through the eyes of those who thought they were safe. He was so polite. Said my room was one of the finest in the hotel, newly furnished for just a fair visitors. The hallway seemed strange, doors in odd places, but I was tired of traveling. That night, I awoke to the faint smell of gas. My chest felt heavy. I tried the door, but it wouldn't open. We found her trunk still in the room weeks later, her name on the registry, but no record of her leaving. In the basement, there were steel tables, drains cut into the floor, the furnace still warm. One victim, Julia Smith, was a woman Holmes had been romantically involved with. She vanished along with her younger daughter, Pearl, after she confronted Holmes about another affair. He later claimed they died during a botched abortion, though investigators doubted his version. Another, Emmeline Segrand, was last seen in Holmes' office. A witness claimed to have seen her struggling before being pulled into the vault. Holmes' charm could turn to cruelty without a warning. The 1893 World's Fair brought an endless stream of strangers to Chicago. Many traveled alone, carrying their life savings in their purses and valises. Perfect prey. Holmes would advertise affordable lodging. Visitors checked in, leaving behind letters and luggage, and never checked out. Locals whispered about women who were seen entering the castle, but never seen leaving. Holmes' hotel had a strange turnover. Guests, clerks, maids, no one stayed long except Holmes himself. The Ripper theory. Here's where the lines blur between confirmed fact and tantalizing speculation. The gap in time. Jack the Ripper's last confirmed killing occurred in late 1888. Holmes' whereabouts during parts of 1888 and 1889 are murky at best. Passenger records from that era are incomplete, meaning it's possible, though unproven, he traveled to London. The medical link. The Ripper's victims were mutilated with apparent anatomy knowledge. Holmes, a trained doctor, fit that skill profile. Both targeted women, both enjoyed control over their victims, and both exhibited a mix of calculated planning and brutal violence. In 2017, DNA analysis from letters allegedly sent by the Rippers pointed to a different suspect, but some argue the evidence is too degraded to be conclusive. The idea that one man could have terrorized London's foggy streets and then built a murder factory in Chicago is irresistible to crime historians. Holmes himself, when asked about the theory, neither confirmed nor denied it, and that silence keeps the theory alive. Holmes' empire unraveled not from murder charges, but from insurance fraud gone wrong. His final scheme involved killing his former associate, Benjamin Petel, and attempting to collect on the insurance. When police investigated, they uncovered a web of lies and bodies. By the time authorities fully explored the murder castle, the World's Fair was long over and the building stood as an empty husk filled with hidden rooms, strange contraptions, and a lingering smell of burnt flesh. Holmes was hanged in 1896. Witnesses say he showed no fear, maintaining his composure until the end. The murder castle itself mysteriously burned down before it could be fully studied, destroying much of the physical evidence, but stories of its horror survived. Some say you can still hear faint footsteps pacing the hallways that no longer exist, or the hiss of gas where wallpaper once covered hidden pipes. Whether it's ghostly echoes or just the weight of history pressing in, the corner of 63rd and Wallace still carries a chill. The World's Fair showed the world humanity's greatest triumphs, but in the shadows, Holmes built a monument to its darkest instincts. And here's the thing about monsters. They don't always hide in the dark. Sometimes they smile, shake your hand, and offer you a room with a view. Like, share, and subscribe if you're brave enough to come back, because next time we're unlocking another door in history's darkest hallways. And I can't promise you'll find your way out. Have a good night, guys.